An Cajon dentist and wounding 2 others was in court today. I have more from the judge and the victims' grieving parents.
Did investigators do enough? That's what the defense is arguing on what's now day 21 of the Larry Millete murder trial. We'll take you back inside the courtroom as Maya is still missing.
The sport fishing fleet at H&M Landing here on San Diego Bay are extremely excited about the developing El Nino. I'll tell you what they're catching and what you can expect coming up on News 8.
And breaking news out of downtown San Diego, where we're learning police shot a man who they say was armed with a weapon. We're live with details. Breaking news right now out of downtown San Diego, where an investigation is underway after at least one San Diego police officer shot and hurt a man at an apartment building. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. This shooting was reported around 3 p.m. at an apartment building near Cedar Street and 6th Avenue. That's just south of Interstate 5.
News 8's Shannon Handy joins us live from near the scene with what we know right now. Shannon.
Carlo and Marcella, this took place at the complex behind me. It's the Cedar Gateway complex. The area is blocked off and there is a large police presence. I'm going to step out of the way and explain what happened. Now, according to both police and witnesses, there was a pretty dramatic turn of events that led up to this shooting. If we pan up to the building where you can see a window open with a flag, there was a domestic disturbance that reportedly took place there involving a man and his mother. He allegedly held a knife up to her throat and threatened to kill her. Now, she was able to get away. Police then showed up, at which point the man barricaded himself inside the unit and started throwing things out the window. So let's pan down so you can see the mess below. There are some kitchen items. One of the things he threw was a microwave, which hit a patrol car. In fact, you can see the smashed windshield of that patrol car, which is still out here. That obviously elevated the situation. Let's now get to some video shot earlier. In it, you can see the man being taken away on a stretcher. Witnesses tell me police ultimately made their way into his unit, where they initially deployed a smoke bomb as well as rubber bullets. Now, there was a report that the man had set a fire inside his unit. We're still trying to confirm that, but witnesses tell me they're not sure if it was a fire he started or if it was smoke from the smoke bomb. Either way, police did evacuate the entire building, and those tenants are still outside. Now, as the police were inside, that's when the officer-involved shooting happened. At this point, it's unclear what the man's condition is. Meantime, as I mentioned, as this was happening, the other tenants were evacuated. Here's what a couple of them had to say about this whole ordeal.
When the police came is when he started yelling. Nonsensical, you know, just yelling and about the police and calling out for somebody. And I've seen him several times, and there was, you know, just a short hello, you know, no problem.
I heard all the commotion when I had my back door from the patio, and he lives across the patio. I live on the 6th floor, he lives on the 4th floor, and the police were negotiating with him to come out for about an hour and a half or 2 hours. He never came out.
And neighbors tell me both the mother and son live there and that they haven't seen any issues between them before. There's also unconfirmed reports that this domestic disturbance may have been going on for a few days, that the two were actually inside this unit for a few days. But of course, we are still awaiting for police to confirm those details. And as soon as we get information, we will share that with you. And one thing to note, Marcella and Carlo, there is a Padres game starting in about 35 minutes from now. And this area is going to be blocked off for quite some time. So if people are heading downtown, whether it's to the game or just coming home from work, keep in mind that you may run into some additional traffic.
Still an active scene there. And Shannon, very fortunate that no one was hit by any of that falling debris. It looked like some very heavy kitchen equipment that fell.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what a lot of people out here are saying, especially in this area. It's a busy area, busy intersection with people that walk by all the time. So thankfully, no one else was hurt. As for the mother, though, she was transported to the hospital. I'm told by neighbors who know her that she had an anxiety attack, and that is what she was treated for. Again, we are still awaiting to get official word from police.
All right, our best to the mother. Thanks so much for that report. We will continue to monitor this story and bring you the latest updates as we learn them. You can also follow us on social media and download our free CBS 8 app. Tonight, we are learning the man accused of killing an El Cajon dentist will stand trial. That is what a judge ruled just hours ago.
News 8's Alex Cheney was in the courtroom where Mohammed Abdul Karim represented himself and questioned witnesses directly.
It was an emotional day inside the courtroom as the judge determined that there is enough evidence for Mohammed Abdul Karim to stand trial for the shooting death of a dentist and wounding 2 others. At the same time, the parents of the victim were inside the courtroom today seeking justice for their son.
It's every day, but obviously when we come to court, it's more painful.
The parents of Ben Harouni spoke outside the courtroom about the loss of their son, who was shot and killed at his El Cajon dental office in February of 2024.
It's been 2.5 years almost, and this is the first time I feel like we're getting somewhere.
Prosecutors say video from inside the dental office shows disgruntled patient Mohammed Abdul Karim pace around the office before shooting Harouni several times. He's also charged with 2 counts of attempted murder for wounding 2 other employees. Abdul Karim has pleaded not guilty and is choosing to go without an attorney and represent himself after a judge previously ruled him competent to stand trial. Investigators say after the shooting, he fled the scene in a U-Haul truck before officers tracked him down near Balboa Park. A witness from the El Cajon Police Department says Abdul Karim sent several letters to the department starting in April of 2025. One of them saying in part, "I decided to get the dentist. It all started with him." For Harouni's parents, some of the details were too painful to hear. They left the courtroom several times as testimony continued, but they say they will keep showing up for their son.
The reason we are here is because nobody else is representing him except for us.
And keep Ben in their hearts.
And he did make a difference in his short life.
What do you miss most of him?
His smile and his hugs.
Abdul Karim's next court appearance is set for July 7th. Reporting from El Cajon, I'm Alex Cheney, News 8.
Thank you, Alex. Text messages were once again the focus of the Larry Millete murder trial today.
The lead investigator from the San Diego County District Attorney's Office has now testified for some 15 hours. News 8's Jenny Day joins us live with the latest from Chula Vista. Jenny?
Yeah, Carlo and Marcella, here at the end of court today, a neighbor of the Milletes testified that Larry came to him asking him to do some repair and paint work to his vehicle just 2 days after Maya disappeared. Larry telling him that the car had been scratched up. So we'll see what comes out of all of this. That testimony continues tomorrow. Let's get back to the bulk of today, though, with the defense asking a lot of questions of this lead investigator about whether other people were thoroughly investigated. Milliete's affair partner, Jamie Laird, says he was at the hospital. His wife was in labor the night Maya went missing. Investigator Matthew Grinley testifying Laird's alibi was not verified, and some messages between Maya and Jamie that had been deleted were never recovered. We learned today his now ex-wife will soon testify about his whereabouts. I can tell you there are a lot of objections between the prosecution and defense. Attorney sidebars back and forth about what can and cannot be asked, with the judge saying Larry is the only one on trial. So much tension today, the judge putting both sides on official notice, saying things like eye rolls are inappropriate and any violations will result in consequences. Now, with this being a no-body case, all of the evidence is circumstantial. Today, a long history of text messages between Maya and Larry were shown, countless texts every single day, then not a single one January 8th, 2021, the day after prosecutors allege Maya was killed. Larry then texts Maya January 9th asking where she was. 3 days before she disappeared, Maya texts Larry, "I'm filing for divorce, whether you like it or not." The day she disappeared, Larry called out from work, telling his boss, "I am not right. I'm about to lose it. I will try to come in tomorrow. Today, I'm just mentally, emotionally, physically spent." Larry did not end up going to work that next day, and that's when prosecutors say his phone was off for 12 hours, and his car traveled some 200-plus miles. Larry has maintained he went to the beach with his son. Now, despite countless searches, Maya's phone has never been recovered. The investigator testified it was never used or never left the Millete home after January 7th. And it has come out over the years that Maya loved the desert and her Jeep. So 2 people also testified today from a Jeep club that she had been a part of. They described her as a ball of energy. They witnessed the bond between her and her children and said they had future trips planned together. I'll also mention that both sides, Maya and Larry's side of the family, continue to be here in court every single day. Live in Chula Vista, Jenny Day, News 8.
Jenny, it feels like we had pretty tense days in court previous days. Was today a little more routine?
Yeah, you know, every day is different. Sometimes we'll have people on the stand for 3 days, and then other people are on for 20 minutes at a time. So it was interesting to hear that Jamie Laird's now ex-wife will be testifying about his whereabouts. And then again, a lot today from this DA investigator. Also, we heard from the cleaning lady today who did their house for 3 years, that she had a planned visit that day. So every day there's just little bits and pieces that continue to come out. Carlo.
Glad we have people in that courtroom monitoring. Thanks, Jenny. Again, no cameras are allowed in the courtroom during the trial, but we do have reporters like Jenny Day in the courtroom every day. You can stay up to date with the latest developments online and on the go with the free CBS 8 streaming app. San Diego City Council members are approving new regulations for e-bikes. The proposal would ban riders from the age of 12 and under from Class 1 and 2 bikes. Excuse me, let me say that again. Riders under the age of 12 from Class 1 and 2 e-bikes. Those can hit up to 20 miles per hour. It would also bar passengers on bikes that are not built for 2 riders. The regulations are subject to a second reading, which will happen next Tuesday. If approved again, the rules will go into effect 30 days later. San Diego Unified students could head back to school this fall with tighter screen limit times.
The school board is meeting right now to vote on a resolution to ban YouTube and non-educational games on school devices and remove tablets from the youngest classrooms entirely. District leaders say the goal isn't to ditch technology, but to cut screen time linked to attention problems and lower academic performance. If approved tonight, the new rules take effect on August 10th, the first day of school. We have a reporter in the school board meeting tonight at 11. We'll tell you which changes were approved and what it means for your kids.
California lawmakers and parents are calling for more federal support to make social media safer for kids.
Those details are still ahead, plus what we are learning tonight about new rail crossings coming to Leucadia.
Somebody abandoned these 2 little guys and mom by a dumpster, and they have quite a story that we'll share.
We had some high clouds that were moving through, actually mid-level moisture, and that was all associated with some subtropical moisture sitting just towards the south of us. It was moving from the south to the north and also a little bit more on the humid side. And there's a threat for some lightning. We'll explain just a little bit more after the break.